Dalovina guia dolosana angito talita kini ana warong ng Bula FM at Golden Point Resort basendo nambando ana here binaka.
Bula binaka na adang ko tevita utu ngoi 90 ando talita ka wale warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Nadang ko makilesi werkraki NSB ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Hello nga ratu kitchen ng Gatumbo ando talita na warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir ngo lusu.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Tonight, hard-fought win for Fiji in the Las Vegas Sevens. 5 confirmed cases of dengue fever following tropical cyclone Winston. And 2 weeks after the cyclone, a handful of communities still cut off. The Vodafone Fiji Sevens team defeated Australia 21-15 to defend the Las Vegas tournament in the USA today. The win could not have come at a better time for Fiji, which is slowly overcoming the destruction left by tropical cyclone Winston. Rohit Deo has more.
The sign says, "We are stronger than Winston," and the rugby team epitomised that here today.
Stronger than Winston, that was the inspiring thought that spurred the Fiji Sevens team to victory in the Las Vegas Sevens. It provided that X factor for the Fijians, who at the back of their minds had memories of the struggles we are facing at home. An elated coach Ben Ryan says a win will help lift the spirits of fans.
The moment which carries the spirit of the recovery of Fiji.
It's been an awful, tragic time back in Fiji for the whole population. And there's going to be some dark days ahead, and I'm glad that we can put a smile on the face of all the people back home.
Captain Osea Colony South says the devastation by tropical cyclone Winston inspired the boys further.
We told the players that 1 week after the cyclone struck that we went back into camp, and we told the players that we were going to go and play, and we were the first one off the shelves to try and get some smiles back into the people of Fiji. I reminded the boys this week that we needed to play and remember the people back home that were victims of Cyclone Winston, and that we needed to give them something to be happy about after the devastation of Winston.
Back home, fans are all smiles after the win.
It makes everybody in Fiji proud, I tell you. After what happened to the Cyclone Winston, today it's a proud day for us. Everybody's happy. Thank you.
It was a great win, and especially putting the smiles back on the face of Fijians who affected by the cyclone. Good job, Benran and the team.
I'm really happy with the performance of the boys as they played clean rugby, and it was a good game.
It's really great that the Fiji team won today. Congratulations to them, and I know it would have lifted the spirits of everyone in Fiji, especially those that have been severely affected by Cyclone Winston.
Destroyed.
Fiji's win was so emphatic that even fans in Las Vegas invaded the pitch, mobbing the team in celebration.
And they've had some difficult days. Their form hasn't always been the greatest. They were 15 points down against Australia, a determined Australian.
Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
There are now 5 confirmed cases of dengue fever in areas hit by tropical cyclone Winston. Health Minister Chonu Sumate says while this figure is low, their priority is to ensure there is no increase and that public health is maintained. Maggie Boyle reports.
With concerns of a disease outbreak in the wake of Cyclone Winston, the health authorities maintain that this has for now been kept at bay. Health Minister Chone Usumate elaborating on what is showing up at their hospitals and clinics.
Actually, we have about 5 laboratory confirmed cases of dengue after Winston. There are 2 of these from the west and 2 from the central division. But we've had quite a lot of dengue even before tropical cyclone Winston. From January this year, there are about 166 laboratory confirmed cases.
This comes as other suspected communicable diseases are also being reported.
That there have been around 59 typhoid cases this year. This once again is similar to the kind of numbers we've had in the past. We know where we have outbreaks of, not outbreaks, we have places where typhoid happens We've also had about a number of cases for leptospirosis, around 30 laboratory confirmed cases for leptospirosis. Once again, the numbers that we have are not out of the ordinary.
The health minister, however, points out that Fiji has had its first case of the Zika virus with a young child affected.
Around 93 samples for Zika that we've sent for testing overseas. We have received one laboratory confirmed case of Zika, but it has already been treated. You know, Zika can be a very mild symptom. Most people that get Zika, about 75% of them, you will never have any symptoms.
Usumata adds the public needs to be aware and vigilant of these mosquito-borne viruses, ensuring their surroundings are clean and mosquito-free. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
There are few communities in remote locations which haven't received food rations about 2 weeks after the cyclone. National Disaster Management Office Director Kapusi Tuifangalele says it's difficult getting through to these locations. Farzana Nisha reports.
A handful of communities in the hinterland of the Western Division still haven't been reached. Director, National Disaster Management Officer Kapusi Tuifangalele says this isn't an easy time for anyone and teams are doing everything possible to reach these few communities.
We have had some trickling in from the divisions, meaning to say that some of our remote areas, they had difficulties in getting to them. But now that we are in another week, we are hoping that those that still have not been, in which we have received 1 or 2 cases daily, would have been covered by this week.
Tuifangalele says DISMEC has access to helicopters which will be used to drop in rations for villages still cut off from road access. He says damage reports continue to pour after preliminary assessments. The Fiji Roads Authority has suffered $7 million in damage to date. As
of yesterday, the highest is still the agriculture, the non-sugar sector with 120 million, followed by sugar at 80 million. Education is now 50.2 million, with a total damage estimates by sector with a total of 348.3 million.
The evacuation centers has reduced to 620 with 20,015 evacuees. 109 schools have been opened and 23 remain closed. The death toll stands at 43. Farzana Nisha, FBC News.
The government is satisfied with progress made in response to Tropical Cyclone Winston. Disaster Management Minister Nise Ruratu says for the remainder of the state of natural disaster period, teams will dedicate efforts to restore essential services. Ritika Pratap reports.
The National Disaster Management Office is using a tracking system to assess the assistance provided to affected areas. Speaking on FBC TV's For the Record last night, Disaster Management Minister Ines Ratu says things are well on track.
We are tracking communities that have been given food. We are tracking communities that have been given temporary shelter. We are tracking communities that have been given the initial health and hygiene assistance. Water needs accessibility. So in this first 15 days, we have made significant progress in as far as relief assistance is concerned.
Seriratu says some of the communities have been provided rations to last up to 2 weeks, as anything beyond that would go bad.
There is no point in pushing a lot of rations now to most of the worst affected communities because they have storage issues. So we are trying to economize as well. So when we have proper storage facilities, then we will definitely give them the initial 1 month's ration for food.
The minister admits while the government is doing all it can for displaced families, there is a high probability that many will consider relocating to urban centers. He says they won't stop anyone, but at the same time, the government is building stronger homes so that families can remain where they are.
We have also sent in key government agencies, particularly in the Itauki communities. We have sent in the provincial councils, and of course with the assistance of the Ministry for Health, if it's health-related issues that's causing the people to come out, or if it's about their livelihoods, the resource-based sector, they are moving there to assess. And of course, over time, we will again perhaps revisit these communities and probably encourage them or entice them to come back to their communities.
The minister says lesser affected communities may not see a heavy presence of relief workers, but they will be reached in due time. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Still to come, new police commissioner says the Fiji police force is strong and stable.
Yandra, I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Rakiriki Village. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Tilipa from Tabor Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. New Zealand Prime Minister John Key says they have deployed a lot of resources and manpower to Fiji to help rebuild after the destruction caused by Tropical Cyclone Winston. New Zealand Defence Forces vessel HMNZS Canterbury, HMNZS Wellington and helicopters are in Fiji with personnel helping in the cleanup, reconstruction and supplying of relief rations. Speaking to New Zealand-based Radio Tarana, Key says it is going to be a long, slow process for Fiji because of the substantial damage suffered across the island nation.
Combination of resources, money and skill, and we'll be looking at that. We're already working on that. You might have seen some pictures last night of the Australian and New Zealand Defence Forces basically trying to recycle timber and materials that can be used to rebuild houses and getting rid of the rubbish from the others. There's no question a lot more product's going to have to get taken to Fiji, and that's part of the rebuilding phase. It's going to take quite a while, to be honest.
John Key says New Zealand stands ready to provide maximum support to Fiji to help the country get back on its feet. After 3 months of waiting, newly confirmed Police Commissioner Sitiveni Ngilio says his appointment has come at a time when the police force needs strong leadership. The Police Commissioner spoke with FBC News today, highlighting a few of his career goals going forward. Ellen Stahls reports.
Upon learning of the news, Police Commissioner Sitiveni Ngilio says he felt both emotional and excited.
After 28 years in the military, straight out of school into the military, it's about 2/3 of my life that I had to part with. It was the only life that I knew. And secondly, I felt that load of leadership on me. Through the weekend, thinking about how I'm going to do things in the next couple of years during my contract. It's a big responsibility.
While he was still in his acting role, the Commissioner says he was already thinking of the few things that could be improved once he was made permanent. One job on the list includes regularizing the 1,000 special constables in the force.
There are other units. We have to strengthen the drug unit. We have to strengthen the sexual crimes unit. Some of these units have been created and haven't been put into the structure of the Fiji Police Force. We have to look at vehicle allocations for police stations. If we are to look at how many vehicles that's needed in a police station or police post, we have to rank them as well.
Operational requirements and staff welfare is also on the list. Ngiliho says the police force has a good structure in place that just needs to be enforced effectively.
There are great operational plans there already in place, and with a good structure and good administration and welfare to address to go with that operational plans, things should fall into place.
Ngiliho says he knows the importance of leading by example if he wants any of his staff to comply and follow his orders. And he is still willing to walk the talk now that he's confirmed as the Police Commissioner. Ellen Stahls, FBC News.
The Water Authority of Fiji has introduced an amnesty period for people illegally connected to its system. Chief Executive Opeta Ravai says anyone found connected illegally as of next month will be prosecuted. Savara Tambua has more.
The Water Authority is aware that people are connected illegally and aren't paying a single cent. CEO Opete Ravai says this has to stop.
We're giving you time to, or them time to come up and tell us why they're not receiving their bills. Maybe they are connected illegally, or maybe they were like that for, I don't know how many, for a long time. But now they need to regularize their connection. After the 31st of March, if we find people illegally connected to our systems, then we will prosecute like we've normally done in the past. So the amnesty ends on the 31st of March.
Ravai says for the next month, people can come forward and have their connections regularized without penalties or any other repercussion. However, at the end of the amnesty, WEF will begin seeking out customers who are cheating the system.
Like we've normally done in the past. So the amnesty ends on the 31st of March. We're encouraging our customers who have not received their bills to come and talk to us, or they know that they don't have a water meter, which means they are legally connected. Please come and talk to us so that we can regularize your connection and that you don't find problems later on. Because if we do catch you later on, then you will be prosecuted as per the legal framework that surrounds our operations.
Ravai says while much of the WEF resources are focused on repairing damage caused during TC Winston, the authority will continue with routine operations, checking water meters around Fiji. Sabira Tambua, FBC News.
Sports is up next. Here's Jamie with the latest.
Nakajaki and good evening. Coming up in sports, Fiji wins Las Vegas Sevens in style. And TFL Fiji Warriors ready for World Rugby Pacific Challenge. We'll have this and more after the break.
मैं हूँ रेहान खान कुरबो तालेबू के जैसे फेस्टिवल ए ग्रेड है कुरबो में उसी तरह मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है कुरबो में
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
हम नकाशी से साइमन है हमारा फेस्टिवल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है
माय नेम इज दिनेश हम नैंडी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जैंट जिपलाइन में और मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट आई लाइक इट
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
In one of the best comebacks of the season, the Vodafone Fiji Sevens side turned their half-time 15-0 deficit into a 21-15 lead at full-time to beat Australia and win the Las Vegas Sevens. Rohit Deo reports.
So much a part of the squad that's done so well.
The Fiji Sevens team won their second tournament on the World Seven Series in dramatic fashion. Australia came out of the blocks quickly, scoring 3 unanswered tries.
To the flying and hard-working Sam Myers, and what a reward for this man. Born in Auckland, New Zealand. Jenkins through, big hold. And Jenkins, 2 tries. And here is a good run by Kingston. That's just 10 metres out. They tumble over the top. I love it. Away to Clark. He runs hard at the gap. And that's 3 tries.
The message at halftime from mentor Ben Ryan was quite clear.
Score, get ourselves inside the posts, make sure we score inside the posts. One score, we're back in the game.
They seemed to have fired the players up, and the Fijians put in a polished display with 3 unanswered tries.
And now, into open territory, come the Fijians, a blistering attack. A lovely run and a try for Kitione Talinga. That's okay. And now, Dakuwanga, clear. And a lovely run in again for Kitione Talinga. Out wide to Cooper. He's lost it. Turnover for Polynesia. That's the goal line there. Here we go now with the kind of rugby we've come to see from Fiji. Rawada gets away from Jaladin. If the previous try left us breathless, this one leaves us speechless. A fantastic try to put Fiji into the lead.
Ryan, jubilant in victory, talked about how tough winning tournaments has become.
Yeah, hugely. There's 8 sides there that can win, and you saw Kenya's display against New Zealand yesterday. You look at USA and how they're advancing. Canada almost beat them today, so that we've got a wonderful product on our hands here in the World 7 Series.
Captain Osea Kolonisau, who received the Player of the Final award, says it was a tough week for his team.
We know Australia was a tough opponent, especially overcoming South Africa, a very good South African team. But we hold on to our faith this week, although we lost to Samoa. But we said that we have our faith in the Lord, and without our faith in the Lord, that we need to work hard for it. And we worked really hard towards it. We had only 10 players, but our faith in each other and our faith in the Lord came out quite pleasing this afternoon.
Fiji now prepares for the Canada Sevens, which will be played this weekend. Wahid Deo, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, earlier in the Cup semi-final, Fiji defeated USA 21-14. It was a tough encounter against the hosts with 2 Fijian players sin-binned. Here are the match highlights.
7th position, Nangusa with a big move and gives it to Veramalua, and Jasa Veramalua going to open the scoring in this one. He's on a mission here. Barrett's got a space. Barrett cuts it on Jerry Tuai and Denny Barrett. Pio Tuai to Revolvo. Revolvo's got a little go-go. Can Cepho get him? That's a no-no. Just over 5 minutes to go. And getting the pop there, they'll bring it back as there might be a card coming up as that ball got thrown away as Rasta Rasavenge. Cepho, they're going to keep it on, and Veramalua flings it back. Oh, this is Fiji. Wow! Pio Tuai, the cruiser to the corner with a smile.
The Fiji Sevens team now leads the World 7 Series with 91 points after 5 rounds. South Africa is in second spot with 86 points, followed by New Zealand on 82. Australia, after reaching 2 consecutive Cup finals, moved to 4th place, while USA, Argentina, England and Kenya make up the remaining top 8. The pools for the HSBC Canada Sevens, round 6 of the World Rugby Sevens Series, were drawn ahead of the Cup final in Las Vegas. Ben Ryan series leading Fiji will face Kenya, Samoa and Portugal in Pool A, while Australia will meet Wales, Russia and host Canada in Pool B. South Africa, Argentina, Scotland and the invited team Brazil will compete in Pool C, while this week's host USA awaits New Zealand, France and England in what looks to be the toughest of the 4 pools. And of course, you'll get to see all the action of the Canada Sevens this weekend live right here on FBC TV. The Japan A rugby team is ready to get down to business when the World Rugby Pacific Challenge starts tomorrow. Japan has brought a much more experienced side compared to previous years and is sure to provide a tough challenge to the other Pacific Islanders. Meanwhile, TFL Fiji Warriors captain Penny Ravai says his team has prepared well and is ready to take on Samoa A tomorrow.
Yeah, we're ready. We just prepared for just 2 weeks, and the boys were training hard just because of tomorrow. And we know it's going to be a really tough game tomorrow, and the boys are prepared very well for the last 2 weeks.
The first day of the tournament sees Japan A up against Tonga A at 3:30 p.m. while the Fiji Warriors meet Samoa A at 6 p.m. You can catch the live commentaries of all Fiji Warriors games on Bull FM with Satish Narayan. That is your sports for tonight. Good evening.
Minister for Finance Ayaz Said Qayyum today received $100,000 from Digicel Fiji towards the Prime Minister's National Disaster Relief and Rehabilitation Fund. Said Qayyum thanked Digicel Fiji for the donation and for restoring network communications to affected areas and providing customers with free airtime. He says the donation will help the Fijian government continue its vital effort of rebuilding and recovering from Tropical Cyclone Winston. And looking at the weather for today, there was fine weather across the country today with some afternoon cloudiness and very light showers in some areas. Temperatures were on the comfortable side, the warmest 33 in Ba, the coolest Sabo at 30. Tomorrow should be pretty much like today, fine weather with the chance of afternoon cloudiness and light showers. Looking ahead to Wednesday, it's more of the same. At sea, southeast winds up to 20 knots and moderate to rough swells. Recapping the main stories for tonight. Fiji played an emphatic game to win the Las Vegas Sevens today. 5 cases of dengue fever have been confirmed in the Central Division following Tropical Cyclone Winston, and a handful of communities are still cut off from land access and need rations to be airlifted. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Resuming our weekly poll question, we are asking: will Fiji bounce back from Tropical Cyclone Winston? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Bye for now.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM Rocks.
My name is Freddy. I'm from Gamiatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah. I live in Asunu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka, and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Wulamila. I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.